Hello and welcome to Harvesting Writing Proof of Work. So this morning I'm going to get into more of the sorting. This is what I've been waiting to get into, and it seems like it took several conversations with myself to get to this point. So I don't know how much talking I'll do compared to just working, and that's why the proof of work is included in here. It's more like just showing that I'm starting to sort the content that I already have into these other ways, and like creating the AI likeness by gathering the information I want to be in that AI likeness is one of the main things, mainly because having AI process the information is a lot more likely than having humans process it. I was just watching a YouTube video about, how our attention is shrinking and all of that, and we know this, and he talks about how first there was a printing press and then books and people had to focus, and now and with books you had to choose to focus, and then now with AI it's like it, or not AI, with TVs and then phones and all these other screens, it's kind of stealing our attention, and we know that. But what he didn't include is like how this will happen in the age of AI, right? So how will AI keep our attention, and what will that look like? So something just came to mind of like the AI speaking commercials into our ear if there's no screen interface, or if it can see what we see because we're wearing glasses or something, and be like, oh, you should buy that, look at that, look at that in the window, something like that. So the other thing that surprised me but didn't surprise me, but it's just one of those facts you pick up from a video, is that they were saying that the Netflix movies are actually, or the Netflix shows and movies now, are designed for you to be scrolling at the same time. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is why I didn't have Netflix when I was depressed, but I had Prime Video. And like everything I watched was like too boring to just sit there and just pay attention to. These were the things I tried my best to find something that I might like to watch. And there's different shows that maybe had like a 5 to 10 episode first season and then didn't even go on to the second season because they don't care. They're just designing it to be kind of crappy. So you're just only half watching it. So you only half care if there's a second season. And then they don't make a second season because they just make something else that's like the first season. So I'm making that thing up about the not getting to the second season. Like a show that's a bit older now on Netflix that I liked was Manifest, and I think it was 4 seasons. And like, where are the shows like that? And on Prime I found some that are trying to be kind of a little bit like that, but they don't have a second season, and they only have like 8 episodes in the first season. And there was a couple that were just standalone 1 season shows, which is better. The 1 season shows that were standalone were interesting enough to just watch. So I can see how they're making these watered down things. And I did end up looking at my phone sometimes because I was in look at my phone, try to find some dopamine depression mode. And it was really hard to find anything that was any good. And now I'm in a mode where I can sit here and stare at a screen with things that I wrote down 4 years ago and find it interesting. So here I'm using a screen to hopefully create almost the end of screens in my life. And how could that be possible? Is if I train my AI likeness, or a version of AI that can talk with me, then I don't need to look at these words on the computer or where else. Or I don't need to do it as much. Or I can look at books. I have lots of books. I did read one recently, so I probably read a few books every year, but this could really change, like, the trajectory of what that video was saying. It's going to be like with the way you can talk with the ChatGPT thing now. If you have your own consciousness trained in there of everything you've wondered about, if you've kept track of it all these years, you can literally just talk with yourself about like what's come through your brain for the last 4, 5, 10 years or however many years. So if that hasn't happened, this is like, okay, start to make note of your unique thoughts and wonderings and musings and things like that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sifting through mine. And luckily I have the opportunity to do that because I did what I felt I should do, which was when I had an insight, I wrote it down. And thinking that has some kind of meaning or value or significance. And it might have significance to my AI likeness, right? So that was a good idea, in theory. So now, one thing that I did here was I copied all of my Substack articles that I had in a separate document that I published, or that I have. Sorry, I'm still waking up, and I know I'm mainly just talking with myself about this to show the different types of information I have. Like some is somewhat finished. These are finished, but even on Substack, it's not like I have a million subscribers. I have a few, and the platform's not really designed to like get you subscribers. So it's more for people who they're already writers, and they already have people reading their stuff. And that might be a challenging thing to get in on. Not only that, like people like me with bipolar, like maybe we read less than the general population because it's hard with like being on meds and everything. I don't know. So being able to create an AI, so it's not just an AI likeness, but it's also, let's see where it went here. AI likeness, and I'll just put custom GPT. So I already created a custom GPT, and this would be like adding to it. It's not activated right now, but yeah. And then this is something I was working on yesterday, which was the lexicon, and just putting words in here as I go. What's this? Oh, this is memetics. So I did write some stuff about memetics, and there is a document here somewhere where I took my Substack articles out of, which is the articles in progress, which was saying these are sort of some of the things I wanted to talk about next. But then there are also things that instead of writing a full-on Substack article for people on Substack, or I could then writing, just making sure it's some kind of information for AI to read is the other thing. These are some of the notes that I posted on Substack that I was keeping track of as well. So for me, looking at this now, I'm just like feeling into this feeling of like, okay, this is about the custom GPT or the AI likeness getting to know me, right? So is this it getting to know me? Because part of what I was wanting to do is separate some of these things. Where is that one? Oh, here. So I'll just put the Substack notes in here too, because they're like finished thoughts, but smaller, right? I don't even know what the shortcut is to get to the end of the document. I can just go down here. Okay. Now the other thing I could do is rework some of this content a bit in order to make a book. Like 47,000 words is already a book. And most of this is written to some extent in like a readable format. And then, you know, you just separate it into topics and I have a book right there. And yeah, so this is totally like finished stuff, but most of the rest of it is not, except for like this re-uncovery book here. So here's a language book. Let's just use this for an example. So here I have actually some Substack language posts that language, let's see. Oh, this is the only one that I actually finished. This is Your Brain on Language, right? Because it has SS. This is Your Brain on Language. And then I wanted to post this languagism one, but I don't think I did, and I didn't finish it. So for continuity's sake, let's just get this out of here, this posted one. Because what I was going to do is sort of write Substack posts in order to oops, what is this? I was going to write Substack posts. Sometimes it does, I don't know why it does that, and then I start to get annoyed when it doesn't go to the actual correct document. Maybe because it's in behind. Oops. Okay. For some reason I'm having trouble this morning with like, how do I even do this? It's supposed to be like, get out of here. Okay. That's okay. This is co-working. You know, if you have stuff you want to work on, this is designed so you work on your stuff at the same time rather than scroll on the phone. So here is the Substack on the language one. I don't need that SS there anymore. So that is more finished stuff, which, like I said, I can use it to train AI. I can use this to turn it into a book already. And then seeing, I think I tried to write about some of the themes that feel like the main themes to me, like language, perception, and memes, right? So there's more on each topic around here somewhere. And oops. So the perception book, let's see, there's 38,000 words here, but some of them are so there's topics, right? There's meaning, there's attention, cognition. You know, some of these topics are like above my head, but it's relating it to bipolar and my experience at least. So like just some bits of here. Some bits are now something like this with like what Dr. David Bohm is saying, I would leave that in, but I wouldn't. But I would keep the studies separate, I think. Let's see. I remember when I was trying to use ChatGPT for the first time, I sort of used it to see what it had to say about some of the insights. Because I could use the insights to write like a book or something too with ChatGPT, but that would be something else, right? Maybe it'd be worth doing, but I don't know. Like this is a really good good highlight, right? Of this. And this bit here is a reference, right? So then how do I put that together better with, or these parts here could actually be part of the book, right? So the next part, I think what I'm going to do is keep these longer bits in here and get out the smaller bits of the section. So ChatGPT gave an introduction to this, and this is kind of written out, right, as well, and it has references. So I did mention seeing if I can capture a book or something out of what I already wrote, like memes and language, stuff that I already wrote. So it would also be a bit of stuff on